In the introduction to her book, Telling Women's Lives, biographer Linda Wagner Martin enumerates some of the problems associated with telling women's lives. Not only has history sometimes prevented women from telling stories and from having their stories told, but there are difficulties in the telling.
Hi everyone, we're here today at the In-Sub Ballrooms for the Mujeres Través del Tiempo event celebrating the pioneering women's mural by Arnold Gonzalez. What do you hope people take away from the mural when they see it?
Well, exactly that, especially the young ladies. It's a male-dominated society, and we want women to feel that they have the same opportunity, and they're tough. If you look today, women today are tough. They're making a difference. Ya no se dejan. I hope that women look at it and say, yeah, who's that? It's Dr. Cleo. He's a doctor. Yeah, who's that? That's Ambassador Armstrong. Really? Yeah. And then that's a writer, Jovita González. The writers, the soldaderas from Mexico. They came over. They were tough. And so those are the ones that played a very big role.
And so how does it feel to see this book inspired by your mural?
Oh, let me say, it is a great, I was just talking to Dr. Roberson. It is a great book. And she talks about the soldaderas and how they fought for their country, how they changed their country in Mexico, how they crossed over and continued the revolution from this side, how they inspired the King Ranch and the Kennedy Ranch, because Petra Vela knew more about cattle than the King Ranch people and the Kennedy people. She's the one that taught them about what a cow looks like, see? What a steer looks like. So her family came in a long time ago from Mexico, and she was an inspiration. And then we have people like Jovita González, who was a great writer. And so, there's a lot to do for women nowadays, and they shouldn't be allowed to fall between the cracks in history. They need to get up and speak up.
What was it like to create this project?
Well, it was fun and it was a lot of work. It was fun working with the different contributors who wrote the essays, and of course Arnold's always fabulous. But then there's also the hard work of getting it in shape and getting a press that's going to be interested in publishing it. So it's all paid off.
What inspired this project?
The mural did. So Arnold had finished the mural, and a bunch of us were sitting around talking about, well, what should we do to showcase the mural? And I don't know who it was. Somebody said, well, we should do a book. And then somebody said, Susan should edit it because she's the English professor. So that's what happened.
What do you hope people learn when they read the book?
I hope they learn how inspiring these women have been for us as readers, to see their life story, the way they took charge of their lives and said, by gum, I'm going to do this, and had to work with some adversity, particularly earlier on in a patriarchal society that had different ideas for women other than being politicians and doctors and painters and that sort of thing. Yeah. So one of the nice things about biographies is that they can inspire readers. They can see how a life trajectory went, what propelled the person to become the success or interesting person that they are, so that then as a reader you might want to emulate some of the things that the character did.
So why do you think it's important for people to learn about people like Henrietta King?
Well, again, knowing that wealthy, rich people, which most of us are not or are never going to be, also suffer. They have real lives. They suffer real hardship. And I think also her love of the land almost immediately. She came from Brownsville, where her dad had started the first Presbyterian church in Brownsville, still there, not the building, but the church. And so she moved there after she got out of school, became a teacher there. But when she married Richard King and moved up here, she never seemed to want to move anywhere else. She did have a house in Corpus Christi on the bluff, but the ranch was always her home, and she was very dedicated. And then when he died in 1885 or 83, I can't remember. Anyway, she took over. She ran the ranch for 40 years, and she was she was la patrona. She ran the ranch, right? Nobody else ran it.
I hope you learned a lot today about the important women in our history. Thank you.